Hi everybody, we're going to talk about logarithmic expansion using a properties here. And what we'll do is the property that we're going to deal with is, and I'm just going to use the common log because it doesn't matter which one you use, if it's the common log or if it is a log with a different base, and let this thing focus a little bit. There we go. The property is the log of u times v is equal to the log of u plus the log of v. And I'm going to use also the log of u to the n power. So if we're taking the log of anything to a power, we could bring that n and put it out front and multiply it times the log of u. So those are the two properties that we're going to be dealing with. Best thing to do is look at examples on how to do this and how to expand it and how to contract it. Now the idea of expanding and contracting is to try and simplify things, or if things get really complex like this, we want to simplify it into one number and be able to deal with that. A lot of this goes away once you're using a calculator, but understanding that if you see this, you can combine it into a simpler thing, and then instead of having to create this in the calculator, you can create something like this. Now, for example, if you have the log of 7x, you have 7 times x. This right here is 7 times x. So what we could do is say this is the log of 7 plus the log of x. And the nice thing about this is going to give you a number. And this is going to give you an unknown, because we don't know what x is. So that's one of the big reasons why. We get x by itself. X is a lot easier to deal with than 7x. We have a number plus the log of x. Then, depending on the context of the problem that we're dealing with, this might be a little bit easier to use, especially since that's a number. You could dump that into a calculator, get an answer, you're good to go. Now, we can make this a little bit different. We could say the log of 7x squared. Now, first things first, we're going to take care of multiplication. Multiplication always first. This is going to be the log of 7 plus the log of x squared. So we were able to expand this, and x squared is a lot harder to deal with, so we're going to use the second property right here and say that's the log of 7 plus the 2, whenever you have this value squared or to any power, bring the 2 out front, 2 times the log of x. So the log of 7x squared is the log of 7 plus 2 times the log of x. Now we have the number out front. We can actually solve this for the log of x, and then we could do some magic after that and come up with some way of coming up with the answer for this. So expansion isn't the worst thing on the planet. Now, there's something called contraction. We'll deal with contraction in a little bit. Another property that we'll deal with expansion is a log. We're just, like I said, using a common log. And this works for natural logs as well. The log of u over v is equal to the log of u minus the log of v. Just like in a lot of the situations that we deal with, multiplication leads to addition, and addition leads back to multiplication. Division leads to subtraction, and subtraction leads back to division. And we'll still use the log of u to the n power is n times the log of u. So if we have, for example, the log of x over 4, this is going to be equal to the log of x, take the top part, minus the log of 4. if you have, for example, the log of 7 over x squared, we're going to get the log of 7 minus the log of x squared. We do the first step first, which is just take care of the subtraction first. Then we have the log of 7 minus 2 times the log of x. Because we have x to a power, we could bring the power out front. So, you just got to be careful on what you're doing. Another example, this is a little bit more difficult when you start getting crazy stuff. Remember, a teacher once told, he had it in a video or on a website or something, where sometimes you do math without trying to put a context in the real world. The context is you're in a math class, so the context is it's just math. You do math. 7xy squared over 4. And we want to expand this. First off, I see subtraction. So what I'm going to do is say the log of 7xy squared minus the log of 4. So we could say subtraction first. Take care of that. The exponent is always the last thing to do. Now I see here is a bunch of multiplication. 7 times x times y squared. So I'm going to expand that, say that's the log of 7 plus the log of x plus the log of y squared minus the log of 4. Don't forget that. So multiplication next. And now we look to see if we have exponents. I have one there. So this is going to be log of 7 plus log of x plus 2 times the log of y minus the log of 4. And this is probably spelled that wrong. This is completely expanded. So the key thing is subtraction first, multiplication second, exponents third. Expanding is pretty straightforward. Hopefully it's pretty easy, and you will enjoy what you need to do with that.